Finally, a wireless transmission system that actually rivals high-end systems like Teradek, and it's actually affordable. This is the Accsoon Cineview Master 4K, and it's pretty damn sick. Let's talk about it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the physicality, starting off with the transmitter. So right off the bat, just looking at it, this kind of reminds me of a Cybertruck. Funny, we have one here. It's actually also made out of aluminum, so it's very durable, very strong. Now, this is actually gonna be the first tri-band wireless transmission system. So you can see the antenna configuration. That's because it supports 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and these antennas here on the side, you're looking at 6 gigahertz. Now, flipping to the side here, you'll notice that we have a power button. This is a colored LCD display. You also have like a menu button here that you're able to like cycle through the menu, and this allows you to go back. This is the back button. Now flipping onto the other side, we have an SDI input. We have an HDMI input and HDMI output. So that's the loop out feature. And that's really nice because a lot of times, let's say like for example, today we're actually running it on the FX3. So I'm able to plug the FX3 to the transmitter, but also loop out to an additional monitor, which is really, really nice. In addition to that, there's also a video out USB-C port, and this allows you to use the Accsoon app. You're able to use their application and also get a video feed. I think it's really cool. I've actually done a video on their whole like ecosystem and everything that this offers, so I'll leave a link down below if you kind of want to see everything that you're able to do with it. Now, in terms of power options, you do have a DC input on the side. I do wish it was a locking DC. I just feel like that would have been a nice touch. Also towards the back, you can power this using NPF batteries. Now, in terms of being able to mount this to other places, it does have a 1/4-20 mount towards the bottom here of the device. And then of course, there's also a little docking station that is coming soon, and I will touch on that a little bit later. Now, looking at the receiver, the configuration is pretty much gonna be the same. You have your antennas, you've got your power button, your LCD display, you've got your menu system, scroll wheel, your back button. On the side here, we do have SDI out or HDMI, which is great. Same thing, I do wish there would have been a locking DC, your battery power option with NPF, and then of course, your 1/4-20 mounting on the bottom. All right guys, so this is the VLock Dock, and this has a little 1/4-20 screw on the bottom that allows you to mount it onto the transmitter or receiver. So what's great about this system is once I screw this on here and I lock this into place, I'm able to power the transmitter or receiver using this little DC input. But here's the cool thing is that if I put a V-mount battery on here, this passes power through and will actually power the camera. So if I'm using like a Red Komodo or any other camera that actually takes V-mount, this actually supplies power. So this keeps everything very minimal if you don't want to rig this to like the side of your camera and you just want to have something like a V-mount option. Okay guys, I want to talk about why this wireless transmission system is actually a big deal. The first being latency. Accsoon claims 25 milliseconds of latency, which is ridiculously fast. Now, keep in mind that when you start going to like higher resolutions like 4K 60 or even 4K 30, it is going to be a little bit slower, about 35 milliseconds, which is still much faster than some of the systems out there. So for this production, you can see we're actually using an FX3. And remember I talked about that loop out feature? So you can see we have the FX3 connected directly to the transmitter, and then we're looping out. So we have an actual monitor on this side. You can kind of see here, we have a Shinobi. Now this is transmitting. We have a little director's monitor that I kind of makeshifted right here. It's a kind of a contraption of a bunch of Condor Blue parts, but we're using that little caddy that we talked about a little bit earlier. So now I have my receiver here with a V-mount battery, and it's kind of a little neat director's monitor. So yeah, I kind of dig it. Now, Accsoon claims that you can get 1.5 miles of range. I mean, we're pretty far. We're obviously not testing it, but I don't know if you can even see the Cybertruck out there, way further than I would probably end up using it. And we're getting a very solid feed. Now we're gonna be doing rolling shots, filming a motorcycle, which requires fast movement, low latency. So I'm pretty confident that this is gonna work out really well. Now, one of my favorite features on this device is the ability to send a signal to multiple devices. But what I mean by that is we have our receiver over here that's being connected to our port keys monitor, but it's also being able to transmit that signal to my phone. And it does this because it uses or it has a Wi-Fi hotspot. So the way I can do this is by downloading the Accsoon C app and being able to connect to it. So now I have a feed here. Aaron on his phone also has a feed. So for example, let's say hair and makeup or somebody on set wants to tap into that feed, I'm able to quickly just give them the password and they're able to do that. So you can see here, even the latency is almost identical to the receiver. So you can see here, it's very, very close. So you're gonna be able to have that really quick latency. Another benefit of this too is that depending on the device they're using, whether it's an iPad, an Android phone, 4K, 1080p, this will automatically scale that image to the device. So basically everybody's gonna get the best quality image depending on the device that they're using. Another benefit using their app to get their live feed is being able to record that video footage and also being able to send those dailies to, like, let's say for example, a producer. I can also live stream. I can also use Frame.io. So basically send all that to an editor in real time, which is actually very convenient. Now we're filming here in downtown LA where there's a lot of interference because there's a lot of radio frequencies, tall buildings. So one of the benefits of using a system like this is that 6 gigahertz connection, because now we're able to tap into 14 additional channels due to their new processing unit that's built into it. And this gets me excited because it means that Accsoon is taking wireless transmission very seriously. Okay guys, I just wanted to pop in here really quick because Teradek is the industry standard. I have the Bolt 4K, I've owned this for many years. It's very expensive, you're looking at about 10 grand at the time I bought it. So check this out, we have the Teradek here on the right side. You see my finger here. And then of course we have the Accsoon, the new Cineview Master 4K, and that's on the left side. You can see my fingers here. So we're just gonna show you a test between a high-end $10,000 system with literally no lag versus something that's gonna have slightly lag. So check it out. So watch, ready? Look at this. Look at that. Going down, popping in and out my hand. You can see, leaving frame. The Teradek is on the right, the Accsoon is on the left. And you can see for a system that has very little, 25 milliseconds of lag, it's actually not bad at all. Again, we're comparing it to something that costs $10,000. I mean, even if you get the newer Teradeks that are a little bit cheaper, you're still gonna spend upwards of like $5,000 plus, not to mention range. The range on this is incredible. I can tell you right now, it actually beats the Teradek. You're gonna need to buy those longer, bigger antennas for the Teradek to get the type of range that the Accsoon has. Also, you don't get any of that nice connectivity that you do with the phone. So I feel like you're actually splitting hairs. You could definitely pull focus with the Accsoon system. Obviously this has zero lag, but again, one more time, just look at this. Look at the demo. It's very, very comparable. I mean, yeah, it's impressive. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up, is the Cineview Master 4K from Accsoon worth it? I would say definitely yes. As someone who uses a ton of video wireless transmission systems, this is the first or the closest that I've ever tested that has gone to zero latency. Again, Teradek is the industry standard. It's mainly what most Hollywood productions are gonna use, but this is so close, and for like $800, wow, I think that's really impressive, and it obviously reaches a broader audience, not to mention, again, the app capabilities, the 6 gigahertz, all the technology that's crammed into it. For the price, definitely worth it. If you guys want to learn more about it, I'm going to leave more information linked down below in the description. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.